Bruh, stop sending me trades. Not giving you the running back. Yeah. They'll get it one day, Pratt. They'll get it one day.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the Steelers going up against the Dolphins.
Or no.
With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Gotton and Charles Davis with this opening week matchup.
Okay, Larry, Charles, and I, we have brought our talents to South Beach, or at least to the neighborhood of South Beach.
I'll terminate this league in a heartbeat.
Miami, Florida. Today is the opener of a new NFL season between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins.
Yep. Bye-bye.
You sent it again?
They'll come out in the pistol.
Yeah.
Here on first down. Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Ryan Shazier. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he shed to tackle. Now he's got some space. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
Carnell on first down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. It's a pickup of 14 there. And the Dolphins have a first down.
What's the true clock feature like in here? I could just do it at any time? True clock.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
So I can
The
use it,
linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. The play clock's running down. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman.
Touchdown. Early.
Take it in for a Dolphins touchdown.
Hey, what are you doing?
Devontae Freeman, 15 yards. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone, how about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves. Stick it in the end zone on a running play.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They come up in an offset eye. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL. And now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
And let's run through the Dolphins defense.
I hope he sent me the trade again so I can decline it again.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. On third down, Roethlisberger.
No, you can't trust the ears, man. Can't,
17 yards that time.
can't trust the ears.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate
You don't
experienced
have to
quarterbacks
voice
because
sharing.
no matter what, you really
So,
know what you're doing.
Come on,
And I
dude.
think
How you
that
not gonna
right
have
there,
the
he
voice
knew
sharing?
right away where the blitz was coming
so
from.
you just gonna say my name?
And he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the
No,
primary target.
I'm talking to Nat.
Good at that, isn't it?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary.
Oh, okay. But it don't matter. Fuck it.
Got to the line of scrimmage.
They know your voice.
I don't give a fuck.
Where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
I don't give a fuck.
It's incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius
Because I'm.
Green there. It's tight end.
I hope he sent me another trade. Like,
Exactly.
So what you just gonna do is just continue to point out my fuck up. Is that what you're doing?
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They overload him that time of the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. And this one will be touchdown right at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins getting set to go here. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they get it done.
And they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
They'll roll him out right. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And Bryant's got it over the middle. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And Green with a catch left side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. How many times do we say in this game is...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now Roethlisberger on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now Bell. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Now, they had the box stacked. That run was going nowhere from the start.
And when you say stacked, you really mean it, don't you? Because when you're talking about a 46 defense, commonly known as the Bear defense, you're covering up.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. And not a good time for the sack on 2nd and goal. A loss of 6. And now it's 3rd down. So from outside the red zone now after the sack, a long 3rd and goal. Now Ben on 3rd and long. His throw caught right around the 6. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. He rifles one that's intercepted. Evades the tackler and now some space. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Watch left, tight end to the left, tight end left. Here we go. Wide and yank. Mike's 50. Come on, baby, alert. Zebra. We ready.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Here we go. Zebra.
From the gun, it's Carr. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to look deep down the field, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
We ready.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? A couple of Dolphins in on the stop.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. This will be caught at about the 6. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They come out here in the I. And from the 3 now, it's 2nd and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Partner into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Now Roethlisberger to throw. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And that brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This is a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Freeman again. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Carr, complete to Gilmore, the tight end. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the 1st down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
He hits Jermaine Kearse. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme.
And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker high in the air to bring it in. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And Ndamukong Suh forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger finding time. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. Now Ben on 3rd and long. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Taking it about the 36. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. And a great spot to start this drive from here. So the D-line's going to spread out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7. 2nd down following the run.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Miami after this.
Hey, we go rally, Rally, we ready.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On now the Miami field goal unit. This from 36 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Steelers set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done. Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They go play action with Roethlisberger. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. And this is taken in at the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And quickly, they get to the line. On second down, Roethlisberger. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now it's Roethlisberger. And this is caught. It's Bryant, and it's a Steeler touchdown. Martavis Bryant in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game. And this one through the uprights and good. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
But conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? That'll be taken in the end zone. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. It'll go as a gain of 12, and that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They come up in an offset eye. Fourth down. Here's Roethlisberger. He completes it to Bryant. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
On third down, Roethlisberger. That is caught. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the one. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. It's their quarterback with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he's able to put it through. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Little motion now from the tight end. Freeman again, a first down carry. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Time running out here on the play clock. On second down, Freeman. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with third and just a yard.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. He needed a yard, that's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. From the gun now on third down. Carr. He dumps it off to Drake. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it's a second down.
All right, I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. It's caught on the left side by Kearse. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 40-yard line.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Back now in Miami, all even as we get ready to start the fourth. They come up in an offset eye. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And they're going to speed things up here. They run, Devontae Freeman. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Devontae Freeman, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. And they will take a 7-point lead now. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to...
Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And they'll give it to him here. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Here's the fullback. This is Roosevelt Nix. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
After that incompletion, I almost get the sense that he's going to look up at the booth and kind of look at us and say, hey, you guys got any suggestions? It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? They've had him on the run throughout.
Yeah, and I get that you're trying to make a play here losing 4th quarter, but to throw when you're not set with pressure coming could have been an interception.
Very much so, and it's been that kind of game for him. They've had him on the run, had him off balance. He's got to find a way to make some big-time throws down the stretch.
7 yards on the play, and the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these situations, and they feel like maybe they're just the better team.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And out come the Dolphins now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now Carr, the grab made by Kearse over the middle. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 2nd down, here's Carr. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Again, it's Bell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
There's no secret to beating a 3-4 when you're trying to run the ball up the middle. You have to control the guy over the nose of the center. And oftentimes, he's awfully hard to move. That's why he's there. A big guy, usually north of 300 pounds, with some agility. But somehow, you got to figure out how to move him. And most teams will double the nose. Center and a guard trying to move him to one side or the other. And when they're able to do that successfully, as just happened here, that's when you get big-time running plays. But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And it's 3rd down. Hitting the home stretch here in a great game, a tie game. Let's see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And that is incomplete. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. Out left side here to Bryant. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. So now here come the Dolphins. And at this stage in the game, every play is magnified here as we get down to the nitty-gritty. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. Carr to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Back to throw, Carr. He'll buy some time right. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Roethlisberger to throw. And Green with a catch left side. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
And there it was right in front of us. Today's NFL, these guys nowadays, they don't just eat up space. They try and get upfield and make plays in the backfield.
This time, Roethlisberger will throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football. But this couldn't be much worse, could it?
No.
This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T-form. They're already in field goal range here late in the 4th now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker and just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
Now a first down carry by Bell. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Bell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They come out here in the eye. On 3rd down, here's Bell. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And Boswell's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. Third down here.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
All right, here we go. Wide and Yates. Hey, we go rally.
He's back to throw. He's got time. He's got Curse. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Steelers, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try again next week at home. England. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. And with that, we sign off from Miami.